Welcome to another episode of Dante's Prison Stories. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, or I'm gonna push that blade. This story right here is coming from my second year behind the walls. There was this white dude by the name of Matthew. He was about the age of 34, 35, give or take. You see, in prison, either you going to stay with a bloody knife or you going to be the one that's getting bloodied. Me, I chose to keep that 4-inch bed spring filed down and was ready for anything. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Matthew was a punk, but he wasn't a punk in a homo way. You see, Matthew was the type of dude that felt like nothing was worth fighting for in prison. Basically, if a guy wanted to take his commissary or full press that extortion game on him, such as having his folks on the outside sending Cashapp to various different people in the prison, y'all know the penitentiary games. So anyway, every Tuesday we would get a new shipment of inmates. Some of these inmates are brand new to the system. They ain't never been locked up before. And some of these inmates are transfers from other facilities. On this particular shipment, there was a guy that came through by the name of C3. See, I got the article about C3. I'm gonna let y'all take a look at it. Pennsylvania man charged after raping and killing 12-year-old daughter of ex-girlfriend. Body found in basement freezer. A 39-year-old Pennsylvania man has been charged after admitting to police of raping and killing a 12-year-old daughter of his girlfriend and storing her body in a basement freezer. Earlier this month, on Friday, February 10th, the body of the little girl named Elena was found in the basement freezer of a home in Columbia, Pennsylvania. The mother's ex-boyfriend, Jason Shackford, has since been arrested and charged in Elena's death. According to Lancaster County District Attorney Office, Shackford told Columbia Borough Police Department officials that he raped and killed the girl at her home and put her in the freezer. This is C3, y'all. This is what that demon did to get locked up. Sick, evil, decrepit. So white Matthew ended up in our pod. Also, C3 found himself on our block also. The guards ended up housing C3 and Matthew in the same cell. Me being about 4 cells down from them, I could somewhat hear their conversation through the air vents. You see, I stayed up at night a lot of times because I never trust my cellmate. He just seemed real grimy, real slime ball type. So I could never get a comfortable rest while locked up with this dude. But that's a whole nother story, y'all. So it was about the 3rd day of these dudes being together in this cell. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, the guards come through the block screaming and hollering, waking dudes up. It's a full surprise shakedown. Apparently, we had a jailhouse snitch that dropped the kite. The jailhouse snitch ended up writing a kite to the guards talking about that pack was in full effect and it was 2 cell phones in our block. So they came and shaked us down. So we all getting pulled out the cells and we had to strip down to our drawers. We all had to go to the day room. They was taking us 2 by 2 to the chaplain to give us a full body shakedown. Y'all know what time it is. Drop the drawers, squat, and cough. During this shakedown, they found a couple bags of that jungle juice, some of that Mississippi wine. You know, some of that Dante's special recipe. So while cats that got caught with contraband was getting rolled up, I noticed Matthew with a beet red face. I'm talking about his face was completely red. I'm thinking to myself, man, what's going on with Matthew? What is going on with him? He got something in the cell or something? What's up with Matthew? You got half of the tank face forward, sitting Indian style on one side of the room, and the same is going on for the other side of the room. Everybody's facing face forward, Indian style. Like a face-off type of situation. So yeah, y'all, I see Matthew, he is bloodshot red. So after the guards get done shaking us down and violating our personal belongings, we was allowed to go back to our cells to put our stuff back in order. Man, these guards are so treacherous, man. They so dirty, man. They'll go through all your stuff, that's tearing all your stuff up. If you got pictures and stuff, you got letters from your loved ones, man, they'll intentionally rip your stuff up and you can't do nothing about it. Now check this out, y'all. The cell doors are still open while we putting our stuff up. Most of the guards done left the pod already. It's about 2 guards in here, but they downstairs and we upstairs. So here I go, put my stuff up And I hear the loudest scream that I ever heard in my life. I'm like, man, what the heck is that? Then I smell like the most craziest demonic smell that you could ever smell. I'm like, man, what the heck is going on, man? Oh, man, what is that? And then you still hearing the screaming. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So when I turn and look towards the cell, I see C3 running that way. Remember, y'all, when I told y'all when we got strip searched, they made a strip down to our drawers. So he's running down the tier in his drawers. And his drawers was bloody red. It was blood everywhere. Remember when I told y'all earlier what C3 was in here for? Well, it finally caught up with him. A family member on the outside that he violated, yeah, they put a hit out on him. And somebody on our block picked that bounty up. And well, they cashed it in. A Mexican dude took the job and was running short on time. So while the shakedown was happening, the plot to take out C3 was activated. The reason why Matthew was beat red, earlier the Mexican dude stepped to him and told him what the plan was. The Mexican cat told Matthew that he wanted him to push that blade on C3 because he'd never see it coming. Matthew, being who Matthew was, he said, nah, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So the Mexican dude was like, okay, I'm going to tell you what then. If you don't do it, I'm going to do that to you. All right, y'all, here we go. So when C3 and Matthew was in the cell, the Mexican dude crept in there with the Glock dookie. If y'all want to know what the Glock dookie is, the Glock dookie is when you get feces, sperm, piss, and all other type of bodily fluids and put it in a bag and let it soak and marinate. And then when you go to your victim, you just spray it in their face. That's a Glock dookie. So when he walked in their cell, they turned around and he was like, boom. It got a Matthew face, Matthew mouth. He like, oh, man, what's going on? Right? C3 like, oh, I can't see. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, he put tobacco sauce in there too, so it's stinging their eyes too. So he like, oh, I can't see. So as he in his boxers doing like this, I can't see. The Mexican dude pull out that sword of justice and going, boom, boom, poking him up, right? Not only he poking him up in his chest, but he poking him down there in that area too. Hence, earlier when I told y'all C3 was running down the pod with all this right here, bloody. After the Mexican dude got done stabbing at his genital area, he bust him upside the head with the blade, but the blade broke off in his head. And for Matthew and his troubles, the Mexican dude pulled out a blade from his waistband and he came to Matthew and gave him a... Matthew was collateral damage and he had to go. C3 now loses so much blood. Now he kind of faintish. He walking down the tier. And then he just collapsed. After he got done poking Matthew up, Matthew got hit in the heart and he bled out. The results of this melee that just took place, C3 ended up with a closed casket. And Matthew, well, he was a casualty of war. If y'all got love for your boy, make sure y'all bless the Cash App and or the PayPal. Make sure y'all subscribe to my other 3 channels. The link is in the description. And let's get back to it. If you enjoyed this prison story, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't become a member yet, make sure you join. Until next time, I'm out.